Hey, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. We're just days before Christmas, so I'd like to greet you happy holidays. I hope you are safe and sound with your family and loved ones, and even when you're not with them at the moment, my heart is with you. If you're looking for new career opportunities that you can do at the comfort of your home, then make sure to check out the link in the description below. I have linked the Facebook page of Multiply Me. It is a new age BPO company that offers remote job opportunities to Filipinos here in the Philippines. And I'm very proud to be their partner in this. So if you feel like you need to either change direction with your career path, that you want to shift from office-based to home-based job or remote job, then this is your chance. On our Facebook page, you can see different job opportunities that we share from time to time. We also have a future opportunities program wherein you can apply. So even though you cannot find a role that fits you just yet at the moment, we will message or inform you if there is a role that will fit your skill set. So again, link in the description below. Today's video is about call handling tips and the mistakes to avoid when you are speaking with your customers on the phone. Obviously, with call handling, you're going to have to rely on tone of voice, both yours and your customer, so that you'll have a more seamless and a smoother conversation from the beginning until the end. But there will be challenges in the call that can be brought about by several different factors. And so I thought of creating this video because there are small things in your call or in your conversation that you don't necessarily notice right away, but they're so important that when you do them in that actual call, it will greatly impact your overall conversation. The first one is not having a strong opening spiel. This means lousy and dry opening without a hint of enthusiasm, meaning that you seem to be not happy on taking the call. Now, this is a mistake because you're not setting a good impression, and you want to avoid this because your opening spiel is the first line of conversation that you'll have with your customer. So if in the beginning you already sound tired and dry and not enthusiastic, then you're already setting the mood for the entire call, which is not good. Your call may not end up the way your customer and you wanted it to be, which is, if not perfect, at least seamless and smooth, right? So make sure that you also have that enough energy at the beginning of the call, just enough for you to sustain your entire shift. I'm not saying you have to be super energetic because that will just drain your energy. Now, if you want to have extra opening spiels that you want to use in your call, I do have a video about that. I'm going to link it up there. It's all about the opening. It's in a playlist called Breaking Down the Call Flow. We know that you're not always happy, but sometimes in our jobs, we really have to force ourselves to do what we need to do, even though we're not feeling well. That's because we are professionals. But if you really do not feel well at all, then I suggest you take some rest instead of sacrificing the quality of your performance and your job. Let your supervisor know. I'm sure your supervisor will understand, and it's better than, being cranky or being so lame and sad in your entire shift. Now, if it's really just your voice, you tend to have a monotonous and dry or sad voice, and I do have a video about how to sound lively and energetic and some fun exercises in that video. I'm also going to link it up there so you can check it out after this. Now, the second mistake to avoid when speaking with customers on the phone is not having an empathy statement. I talk about this a lot, but when the customer is frustrated, upset, or disappointed, you can already hear it from the customer's voice, even though the customer does not say that he or she is upset. Now, this can be a deal breaker in a lot of companies because in customer service, it's usually included in the quality evaluation. Like, there's really a line item in the quality evaluation form that you have to empathize to the customer for you to get that score, for you to get that check mark on that QA form. If you want to know more about that, by the way, I'm gonna link another video here, or I think I'm gonna link a lot of videos in this video, so I'm only limited to 5 cards, so the rest of the videos will be linked in the description below. Go ahead and check it out after this. Now, providing empathy statements actually help pacify a customer, even though sometimes you feel like, why should I empathize or why should I apologize? This is none of my business, right? But really, when you're doing your job out of, wanting to help people and not just doing your job for the sake of doing your job, it will be easier for you to empathize with the customer. I believe Filipinos are empathetic, even though I hear a lot of people say otherwise. It's just that a lot of Filipinos don't know how to express themselves and how to provide appropriate empathy statements. So say, you can understand the situation and that you empathize with the customer. It's just that you don't know how to say it, right? So if you're struggling with that, I can help you verbalize that. Just go ahead and check the video about empathy and acknowledgement and reassuring statements. Maybe I'll just say I link everything in the description because there are a lot of videos to be linked in this video. There are sample statements there that you can definitely use and practice so that you'll sound natural when delivering them. Okay, now the third one is placing the call on mute or on hold without permission. This is super annoying for the customer. That's why it's a mistake that I want you to avoid. Whether you're using a hard phone or a soft phone, you have an option to mute the customer. But in most cases, like when your company uses the hard phone or the Avaya, there's an easy access to there's an easy access to that red mute button. And when you keep muting and then unmuting it, it sounds really terrible on the other end. And I can attest to that because I've done a lot of phone simulations using the actual hard phone or the Avaya. And I was acting as a customer on the other line. It doesn't sound good. So stop doing it. If you really need to research something, or if it will take you a long time to research about a concern or a question, then just politely ask the customer that you need to place the call on hold, or you can just mute yourself and just let the customer know ahead that you're on mute because you're researching something and that you'll be back afterwards, all right? Don't forget to tell the customer when you'll be back and set expectations. I have a video about how to put the customer or the call on hold, which I will link again so that you'll have an idea of what you can tell the customer in that case. Some other agents, although they're not really researching something, it just comes with a habit of muting and unmuting the mute button. And again, don't do that because it can affect your seamless conversation with the customer. On the other hand, if you're trying to verify something from your supervisor or from your seatmate, just like quick verification, don't forget to put yourself on mute then, just so your customer does not hear you, especially when you are speaking in vernacular, Tagalog or Bisaya, because the customer will get confused and it's definitely unprofessional. Next thing is not taking notes. Trust me, you will forget something. Your brain is only capable of storing limited amount of information unless you are a very special human being that you can remember every single thing that the customer has said, like word for word, or if you have that kind of mind-blowing memory, which is so good for you. But if you know that you have a hard time remembering things, then you might as well just use your notepad, because it will really help you and the customer nail down the important details about the call without you repeating the question and without the customer repeating the same information. And if you don't have a notepad or any notes app on your computer, then you can use your email or your chat and then send the information to yourself if you have that kind of function. I did read some comments in one of my videos previously that they're not allowed to use their notes app. It's unlikely in most companies because notes app is really very important. And a lot of companies encourage agents to use it. But in your case, if that's not allowed, then maybe there's a strict reason for that. Perhaps it's due to security or privacy of customers' information, keeping confidential information secure. And if that happens, then it's best to just ask your supervisor or your trainer for any alternative methods to to help you remember everything, or maybe if you need to take notes on the actual account itself, it depends. So make sure that you have proactively ask your supervisor if that's allowed. Number 5 is murmuring or talking to yourself. I have this bad habit back in training, and when I do mock calls, I usually murmur or talk to myself. For example, when you are taking a call and then you don't notice that you are saying something while you're not on mute or while your customer is on the line. So that is really awkward and unprofessional. My trainer pointed out once that I had this habit of talking to myself while on call. And I agree, it's really unprofessional. So if you really need to concentrate on something and to avoid murmuring or talking to yourself, then might as well just ask permission from the customer to place the call on hold or mute, whichever is appropriate or applicable in your situation. The next thing is not a small thing, it's a major thing, which is to transfer the call unnecessarily. It's a major mistake that will actually affect customer service and also your quality evaluation. Now, whether it is to another department or to your supervisor, if there's no legit reason to transfer, then please don't. If you need more assistance with call transfers, I do have a video about that, which again, I'm going to link in the description below so you can check it out. But the thing is, you will only really transfer to another department if the concern is out of your scope. If it's something that you can do on your own and you're trained to do, even if you forgot it or you do not have a clue about how it works anymore, because maybe it's been a long time since you had your training or just did not remember anything in your training, then the best thing to do is to ask your trainer, ask your supervisor. But before you even do that, make sure to consult your job aid or your knowledge base and see if the answer is there. When you transfer unnecessarily, you're not only affecting the next department because it's a wrong transfer, you're also negatively affecting the customer experience because customers don't want to be transferred. They just want to be taken care of and their concerns just be resolved right away as fast as you can, if possible. Next major mistake that you have to avoid when you're taking calls is hanging up on the customer. I know, right? And this usually happens when agents are impatient or they just want to stop the customer from ranting or from yelling. Maybe the customer is stubborn or just doesn't want to stop talking and just want the customer to shut up, then just hang up the call. It is a big no-no, and in most cases, it warrants a performance or behavioral warning. So whatever happens, unless it is stated in the guidelines of your account that you can hang up on the customer, if it is, for example, abuse or anything like that, then you can do so. But just because you're having a hard time in that call or that you just want to stop listening to the customer doesn't mean you can hang up on that customer. There's always a proper way to handle that. If you want to know more about how to handle a difficult call or difficult customers, again, I have so many videos about that. You can pretty much just search here on my channel. You can find some tips. But you know what? I've been there, yelling customers, stubborn customers, impatient customers, all of those. But I wouldn't dare hang up because it was a violation and you'll likely get a bad survey. And you wouldn't want that, right? So start to boost your patience and do some rituals on the call while your customer is ranting so that you'll stay as calm as possible. Then the next major thing is not doing what he said you will do. In short, lying. So for example, if you said that you will note the customer's account, then do it. If you told the customer that you will process a refund request, regardless of what's going to happen, then do it. You get the drift. If you don't plan on doing something or a request for the customer, then don't say that you will do it. because you will definitely get a customer complaint once a customer finds out that you lied or you just said you will do it because you want the customer to shut up or you just want to end the call as soon as possible. So again, if you said that you will do it, then do it. If you want to learn more tips about call handling, you guessed it right, I already have a lot of videos about those as well. So again, every video that I mentioned in this particular video will be linked in the description below. So go ahead and check them out after this video and feel free to ask me questions in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed yet, if it's your first time here, or if you've been a long time watcher of my videos and you haven't subscribed, why not? Please subscribe and share this video to anyone who might benefit. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.